Hey everybody, Josh Peck here. Just a quick update video for you today because big news has been happening in the past day or so, and we got to talk about it because this might be a fulfillment of prophecy. Before we get into the news, I want to of what's going on. I want to read Isaiah 17, starting in verse 1, and this is a prophecy. The burden against Damascus. Behold, Damascus will cease from being a city, and it will be a ruinous heap. The cities of Arior are forsaken, they will be for flocks which lie down, and no one will make them afraid. The fortress also will cease from Ephraim. The kingdom from Damascus and the remnant of Syria, they will be as the glory of the children of Israel, says the Lord of hosts. And then continuing on, because this might have something to do with what might come next. In that day it shall come to pass that the glory of Jacob will wane, and the fatness of his belly shall grow lean. It shall be as when the harvester gathers the grain and reaps the heads with his arm. It shall be as he who gathers the heads of grain in the valley of Rephaim. Yet gleaning grapes will be left in it like the shaking of an olive tree. 2 or 3 olives at the top of the uppermost bough, 4 or 5 in its most fruitful branches, says the Lord God of Israel. So rebel factions are celebrating right now in Damascus. So if you're not aware, so Islamic militants fill the intersection next to Syrian capital's Damascus Sword Monument, one of the city's best known landmarks. That's right. Syria has been obviously Syria has been invaded. President Assad has fled the country. So the Assad's family reign in Syria came to a total end on Sunday when rebel forces captured Damascus after a stunning lightning strike rout across the country. Hassan Abdul Ghani, senior commander for the militant group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, claimed victory for the rebel forces that stormed across Syria in a matter of days and entered Damascus overnight. So he said in a post on WhatsApp, we declare the city of Damascus free from the tyrant Bashar al-Assad. To the displaced people around the world, free Syria awaits you. So videos are going around on social media that appear to show Syrians celebrating across Damascus overnight and into the day as crowds honked horns, waved flags, fired their guns in the air, and while others posed for selfies standing on top of a tank. Photos and videos showed people toppling statues of Hafez al-Assad, father of the ousted President Bashar al-Assad, in cities across Syria, including in the Assad stronghold of Latakia. So Assad fled the country, relinquished his presidency, and that was confirmed by patron Russia, which supported the regime in crushing what started as a peaceful protest movement and became a vicious civil war. You know, when they say peaceful protest, I'm always just I'm always apprehensive about that because we've heard that so many times. But regardless, so this is obviously big news because again, many of us have been looking for this prophecy. When is this going to happen? When is Damascus going to become a ruinous heap? But I want to play something that's really interesting. I want to play a clip from a news source on YouTube that I watch frequently. This guy's not a Christian or anything, but listen to how his name's Tim Pool, but listen to how he describes this. And again, he's not a Christian, so he's not like reading the Bible and thinking these prophecies and stuff, but he reports the news a lot of politics stuff, some geopolitical stuff, and obviously some things like this. But listen to how he describes it.
I think I can just report, the Assad regime, rebels broke their way to Damascus, the capital. After seeing Homs fall, Homs, how you pronounce it, it was fairly obvious to a lot of people that Damascus would be next. Syria's capital would collapse. Bashar al-Assad would flee. This country is going to become, I don't know. I'll try to be nice, but it's going to be a dump. It's going to be flattened war zone garbage. And I don't mean that of the people, and it's sad to see. But the reality is, it is going to be flattened. The rebels are not going to run things properly. There's continuing airstrikes. We're now hearing, I believe this is true, I believe we're hearing that there's airstrikes in Damascus. The city is going to crumble, just like we saw in Libya.
Isn't that amazing? So, and again, that's coming from the perspective of somebody who is a self-proclaimed like non-Christian. He's not a Christian, and even somebody like that who's not a Christian can see the writing on the wall. Now, again, that prophecy says that Damascus will cease from being a city and will become a ruinous heap. Now, what about the next part, though? Because the next part of it says, "In that day shall come to pass that the glory of Jacob will wane." Well, that's Israel, The fatness of his flesh shall grow lean. It shall be as when the harvesters gather the grain and reap the heads with his arm. It shall be as he who gathers the head of grain in the valley of Rephaim. Yet gleaning grapes will be left in it, like the shaking of an olive tree. 2 or 3 olives at the top of the uppermost bough, 4 or 5 in its most fruitful branches, says the Lord God of Israel. So the glory of Jacob will wane, the glory of Israel will wane, and the fatness from his flesh shall grow lean. Well, there's another story from times of Israel. There's footage that shows Syrian rebels in Damascus vowing, "From here to Jerusalem, we're coming for Jerusalem. Patience, people of Gaza." So the story is footage from a mosque in Damascus, aired by Hebrew media, shows Syrian rebels vowing to march on Jerusalem a day after stunning opposition advance took over the capital, ending the Assad's family 5 decades of iron rule. And as I'm reading this, this just broke like 20 minutes ago. So it says, this is the land of Islam, this is Damascus, the Muslim stronghold. From here to Jerusalem, we're coming for Jerusalem. Patience, people of Gaza, patience. And that quote is a vow from an Islamist rebel spokesman surrounded by a group of gunmen who respond with cries of Allahu Akbar. And apparently it's not clear which rebel group the fighters represent. But the leader of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, the strongest rebel group, has tried to reassure minorities that he will not interfere with them and the international community as he opposes Islamist attacks abroad. In Aleppo, which the rebels captured a week ago, there have not been reports of reprisals. The IDF seized control of the buffer zone between Israel and Syria yesterday in what it said was a defensive and temporary measure given the chaos in the country following the fall of Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad. So it's really interesting times. Pray for Israel, obviously. Pray for anybody who might be involved in this. We obviously don't want war. We don't want people to get hurt, but we also believe in prophecy, and we know that these things are going to happen. It's the sign of the times. So we're definitely going to have to all keep our eyes on this. Just because what a strange thing, what a strange time to be alive, and it's interesting because this happened while we were all speaking here in Branson at a prophecy conference, so of course that's a big topic of discussion for us, but yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on it and see what happens. All right, well, that is all that I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, love you all, take care, and God bless.